Mike Quinsey, channeling his higher self, February 23, 2018. Website Tree of the Golden Light. The future is in the hands of every soul. Whilst some will project specific changes that they would welcome, others simply wish for the better without necessarily being specific. The net result is that as a human collective you will determine what the future holds for you. You have already been informed of new advancements that have in the meantime been developed and simply await the right time to be introduced. Be aware that there will always be those who try to hold on to the old ways, so be assured that progress cannot be stopped. You are in a new cycle, and with it will come many changes that will affect various aspects of life. The trials and tribulations of the old cycle will not return, and you have everything to gain that will lift up the quality of your lives. You had effectively been kept in a time warp and denied many improvements that you have since become aware of, that cannot be denied you for much longer. However, no real progress will be made until specific changes take place concerning certain people and the positions they hold in authority. Things cannot move on whilst those that have a different agenda cling to the old paradigm, and if necessary enforced changes will have to take place. To that end, the light workers have been removing many of the dark ones to make the changes easier, but it is those who command authority in high places that are harder to remove. However, progress is being made and the most important changes will take place in due course. Nothing can stop the vibrations from continuing to rise up, and these are affecting the whole human race, that is gradually leaving the old ways behind. In time, anything or anyone holding on to the old lower vibrations will have to change or be moved to another path that reflects their level of evolution. Slowly but surely your friends from other dimensions will now be able to visit you, whereas previously most of them were stopped so as to not interfere with your evolution. Again, because you have progressed beyond 2012, you have proved that many of you are ready to meet them. You have already been given information regarding your mentors, the Pleiadians, and they too will meet you as and when it is appropriate. You are entitled to start feeling excited at the thought of what is being lined up for you to experience. It should make all of your previous experiences well worthwhile. As human beings you have much more to learn about yourselves, because you are immortal beings having had hundreds of lives, yet shielded from knowing about them so that you could concentrate on the challenges before you. You took on an important one that meant you had to rise up into the light, from a position where you were in a lower vibration. Sufficient of you were successful, so much so that the marker of 2012 was passed. Relatively speaking, the few have exceeded expectations and all have benefited from it. You really cannot yet comprehend what a wonderful, even amazing achievement it was, after previous cycles when you were unsuccessful. You can feel elated because you now have an easier path that will be full of wonderful surprises. So what should you do in the meantime? And the answer is to firmly set your sights on ascension, and ignore the distractions of the remaining dark ones as their power is diminishing all of the time. You are now heading for the greater light that in your perception is changing in a way that will be wonderfully acceptable and uplifting. Times will become joyful events as the darkness disappears altogether, and you exist in a glorious light, and you will feel the love it emanates. By then you should also have a closer link with higher beings of light who will help you reach the next stage in your evolution. You will always be experiencing and learning of new things, so that one day they will make you an entirely independent galactic being. Knowing that happiness and joy beckon, it will give you the strength to see yourself through the remaining days, until you will be lifted up. Your future will be so different to what you are presently familiar with that in some ways it is almost impossible to describe. To have perfect health, a body that does not age, to create for your own needs, and be relatively free to move around by the power of thought, must sound a very attractive idea. Think big, and the more you do so, the quicker you will reach that level of existence. Encased in the cocoon of lower vibrations, you rarely sense your true potential, yet many felt that there was a lot more to life than they were experiencing. You are now in a position to increase your awareness and understanding as your consciousness grows with your ever-increasing vibrations. You have an incredible potential to be whatever you wish, and there need be no limit to your ambition. You are becoming free from earlier life plans that were needed to enable you to rise up out of the lower vibrations. However, you will still be able to get guidance from those who could tell you what would be the most sensible and rewarding path for you to take. Now you have evolved into the higher levels, you will have more free will to choose which path to take. Through your achievements you have gained the trust of those around you, and more of them will be now able to openly contact you. It will help speed up your evolution, and you will have a much better idea of which direction you wish to go in. With the helpful advice of your guides, you can be sure that you will find the right choice for this particular time. Things on Earth at present do appear to be in a muddle with no clear sign of which direction humanity is going in, yet behind the scenes there are those who have the power to mold the future. At all times great beings oversee humanity's progress and ensure that karmic reasons apart, you do follow a path that furthers your evolution. Clearly you do have an input, but in acknowledging the guidance of those who can see the greater picture, you will almost certainly follow their advice. In fact, at all stages of your development you have help and advice, and are never left without someone to turn to if you need help. Time continues to slowly change as the new cycle unfolds, and pulls away from that which is of the old energy. People that are unaware of reason for what is happening feel unsettled, and the future is just waiting to be revealed that should leave people in no doubt that new age has truly commenced. The Dark Ones are losing power rapidly, but will fight until the last hour when they may capitulate. Certainly they are being severely weakened by the continuing arrest of their minions. Because of the nature of what is being done in relative secrecy, it is difficult to get updates on the progress being made, but it is clearly diminishing the power of the Dark Ones. This message comes through my higher self, and I leave you with love and blessings. In love and light. Mike Quinsey.